Hello and good afternoon, everybody.
Good morning.
It is good morning for you, isn't it?
Yeah, where are you at?
I'm in Carolina, so therefore, we're already into the afternoon, getting ready to jump in the pool and all that kind of stuff. So,
Right, right. Well, good afternoon.
hey, I got to tell you, man, this song, Nothing But Love, my God, I wanted a great rock song, and I got a great rock song.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Glad to hear that.
Well, it's such an uphill battle anymore when it comes to radio stations playing great rock. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to dedicate my life to making sure that we keep knocking on that damn door.
Oh, excellent. Good to hear. Really good to hear.
So now, what are you seeing from your side of the rock scale in the way that are people moving in that direction? Because I was told that after the pandemic shutdown that we were all going to be back into a rock moment.
I think so. I think bands are getting out there, starting to play again.
Mm-hmm.
And we're the name of the band is Angelus, and my name is Dale Lytle. And a lot of people mispronounce it, so I want to make sure that we got that down. Some people say Angels or Angeles, and it's like it's Angelus, but really appreciate you having us on, having me on, and whatever, and all that good stuff.
Well, you guys came up through the area of L.A. where that rock scene has really always been pumping and really been a great vibe for the rest of the world. And then to read that you moved to Missouri is like, oh my God, what kind of a culture shock was that?
Well, then we're moving to Ohio after this. So. Yeah, we're getting out of Missouri and moving to Ohio.
Wow, that's kind of most people are running away from the cold areas. You're going right into the big freezer.
Yes, we are. We are. We lived in California our whole life.
Yeah.
And we played the Whiskey a million times and the Troubadour a million times and all the venues out there just so many times. It was time to start playing the rest of the world. And there's a lot of places we play out there, and that's what we're doing.
Well, let me ask you this question about being an LA band in the way that, LA has always had their own sound. Now, you're headed right into that influence sound from Detroit and from Cleveland. And you're headed into a great place to grow music.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm really excited.
Do you find yourself listening? Because I grew up in Billings, Montana, and what we listened to up there was stuff from Seattle, and we'd get a bunch of Canadian music. I love it when the regions come to life. So, do you see and feel the different regions when you're out there?
Yeah, we do actually. Moving to Missouri was definitely a really cool change. It was really different. It was the people, the vibe, everything, the energy's a lot different.
It's more down. Do you find them being more down to earth, more homey?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. LA seems to have its moments of, I don't want to go there. I grew up in it and I had to live through it in the 80s, and it just seemed to never change. It's just back in the early 80s, and living up on the Strip for the most part, living at the Rainbow every night, and the San Fernando Valley and that whole area. It just, it was, we were part of it. We were living in it. And then looking back now, it was different. It was different than the rest of the world, per se, or the United States. Mm-hmm. And it's different. Let's just go there. It's different.
Rock has always been about the attitude, and when you listen to a song like Nothing But Love, it has that attitude. I know there's a video that goes with it and everything like that, but I love listening to the song because it allows my imagination to jump into that rock moment. How do you stay so true into creating those rock moments of where I'm in the car or I'm at the house and I don't need to see moving pictures?
Right. And we just I write all the music and it's just something that it just, I don't know, it just seemed like when we got here, things got a little bit different musically. Mm-hmm. It was a little bit slowed down. It was more down to earth. It was, a lot of things like that. So it was a whole different it was a whole different ball game. It was a good move for us. We needed it. I needed it.
Now, we both know how technology has changed tremendously over the past 20 years. Has that changed you as a songwriter, knowing that you can just go in there and do a quick digital punch at it?
Yeah, except, we always, I really haven't changed with the times as far as recording goes. I've always just stuck to go in, get the songs really tight, take the whole band in, and lay down the rhythm tracks in 1 or 2 takes, and then do the go in and I'll spend 12 hours and we'll lay down 5 or 6 or 7 tracks, and I mean everything but the vocals.
Yeah.
I'll do my leads. I'll do the doubling on the rhythms. We just get the songs so where they're just right. They're not overdone. When you're writing a song, the feelings and the emotions are still there. They're still exciting to play. You barely just get them to where they're tight. It's just a certain emotion to where when you're writing the song and then putting it together and you're playing it through musically speaking for the first time, and you just made it through it, and then you do it, 2 or 3 times, you finally get it to where you can make it through the song, and without making a mistake per se, or to the most part. And so you got this real freshness to it, and that's really to where you got to go through the song 1, 2, or 3 times in the studio before you get it to where without a mistake, not to where anything else is perfect. So it's kind of like I've always found this right moment to where, okay, we're going in. That's it. We've got we can make it through 7 or 8 or 10 songs and go in, and they're really fresh. And I think that comes across in our music as well. It keeps them exciting and alive, and they're not to the point of over. They're ripe. They're just very ripe.
Well,
and fresh.
Isn't that the reason why a lot of the classic rock of the early 70s and even going back into the Beatle era and things like that, because they made it fresh, they kept it fresh, and that was always their main thing, and that's why it's still with us today. I mean, it's like you've got the right formula right now.
Right, and that's exactly what they did. I mean, it's like some of the best bands in the world did that. Zeppelin did their first album in 3 weeks. Van Halen did their first album in no time at all. It was done. Yeah. They didn't spend months and months in drum machines and none of this stuff. And the Black Sabbath and Dio and Blue Oyster Cult and Deep Purple. Just so many of the great bands. They just went in and it was for real. It was real. Wow. And I know there was the exceptions like Boston that, they would spend, Tom Schultz spent like, I don't know how long on doing guitar overdubs and vocals and everything. But he was different than a lot of them. But so many of them would I remember Dio saying something to me to the fact of, if it takes any longer than like a month to a month and a half to put a new album together, something's not right. Those were his words to me.
You just brought up Blue Oyster Cult. Not even an hour and a half ago, I was with Joe Bouchard. Dude, I mean, we were talking rock.
Cool. Wow. Oh, awesome.
See,
that's fantastic. Wow.
You guys are on this path. I mean, that's what I've always loved about great rock bands is that you just keep moving forward. And you're going to collect the fans. They're there. Let's go get them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got to. You got to go, and you can't stop, and you can't look back. You just got to keep moving forward.
So true.
I mean, this is our 17th album. Running Like an Outlaw. I mean, it's just we've done an album a year for the last 8 years.
Wow.
And we got 4 on Dark Star / Sony Universal, and Jeffrey Swanson's president of the record company. He's just fantastic. I love him to death. He's a great human being, and he's just I couldn't ask for a better record company.
Yeah. So now, one of the things, I mean, activating your listeners is a big thing. I mean, sure, you can go get the music, but you've got to show up at the performances. Or are you guys taking this out on the road?
We are. We're going to have our first shows the 17th and 18th in Ohio.
Nice.
Actually, and that's one reason we decided to actually go. There's so many places to play, and that whole area, that whole region it's just, you got West Virginia, you got Philly, you got Pittsburgh, you got Indiana, you got everything's right there. And then you can come down to Kentucky and Tennessee, and you can hit the Midwest that way. And right now I'm in the west of Missouri, almost into Kansas, and there's just really nothing right here. And we didn't really know that when we moved here. I had a friend, lifelong friend, that had lived here, and I don't think he thoroughly explained it, and I don't think we thoroughly checked it out as much as we should have. But it served its purpose and came here. We finished the record. It's a very surreal town. It's got, I'm not sure if surreal is the right word, but it's small, 3,500 people. And it was just a very low key, low pressure, just relax and get the record done. And that's what we did. And now it's time to move on and get out there and start we got gigs coming in, and we got shows in Texas.
Yeah.
We got, I can't announce yet, West Virginia. The shows are being worked on all over the place. So we got a lot coming ahead real soon.
I love the idea that you're going up into the Ohio area, because that means more open space. And as a musician, that means we can put those amplifiers on 11 and nobody's going to be calling the cops. Yeah. And I mean, we can get out there and make some real noise.
That's a good mindset, brother. That's awesome. Yeah. Nobody's going to give a shit. And there's places to play all over there, everywhere. Yeah. And we were, here, I mean, literally, it's almost impossible to find a stage that's not 500 miles away. There's nothing right here. But it was good for writing. It was good for the experience. It was good for the mind. And I tell you, the thunderstorms are something out there.
Oh, my God, yes. Oh, my God.
They rattle the hell out of the houses. I mean, 3 o'clock in the morning, it's just like, boom. I mean, it's even if in California your whole life, but people that live out in the West Coast, they have no clue. It's like, what the hell was that? It's like.
Well, I tell you what, I can't wait till you experience your first winter in Ohio in the way, because I've had more musicians tell me from Chicago as well as Detroit that say when winter sets in is when you get your most creative, because you're locked in the house. You're locked into that mode where creativity is your only walk.
Well, we had that here too.
Good.
And that's what really helped us. I mean, we were locked in. I mean, Missouri, don't let anybody fool you. It gets like 9 below here. It gets 10 in the daytime. There's snow all over. I mean, we had a lot of snow, and we had a hell of a winter. And they get like somewhere around 18 inches in Ohio. So we had a pretty good winter here too. And so we're pretty good with that. We're pretty good with that. And, we might head out to the West Coast for the wintertime, this coming winter.
Yep.
So for playing and supporting the Running Like an Outlaw tour.
Oh.
So, that's the plan.
Wow.
I'm not sure. We put out, like I said, 8 albums consistent for 8 years in a row.
I love
and it's time just to get out there and really play.
Yep.
And that's where we're going now.
So where can people go to find out more information about Angelus and making sure that they stay in touch with you, because that fan base is so important these days?
Oh, it sure is. You can just Google Angelus Band, and it's got a Facebook page. It's got a Wikipedia. It's got everything you really need to know. You could even just Google Running Like an Outlaw, and so much comes up. Or our last album, Hell on High Hills, you could just Google that. You don't even have to say Angelus. You can Google my name, Dale George Lytle. It's available also at Walmart, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all your Spotify, all the downloads. It's available at darkstarrecords.com. And, follow us on Angelus/Rock Band. And that's our Facebook page. And everything there, you can, like I said, just Google Angelus Band, and everything you want to know, you'll read about us. Our AngelusBand.com. You can read about the band. There's a bio on there. What we've done and who we played with and what stages we've shared with. I mean, we shared stages with Motley Crue in '81 at the Troubadour. We played 2 sets with them in one night. It was really pretty cool. I guess I don't really remember. What's really funny? I'm going to tell you this is the truth. I mean, we played with Bon Jovi, all kinds of stuff. Guns N' Roses, everybody. I have not seen one band we played with.
Really?
I haven't seen one of them. I mean, I've never seen Dio play. We played with them in San Diego, and a couple of Miramar and NCC, the Marine bases, and Rough Cut. Never seen Rough Cut play. I mean, I've never seen. Well, I think Rough Cut at New York is a Sunday night. The only people who were in the place was Angela Rough Cut, when Jake Keating was the guitar player, and it's like, yeah, I don't remember. I mean, lately I've seen more bands that we played with than I ever did back then. Bon Jovi, I remember seeing John at the sound check at the country club. We were the first band on the West Coast to ever open for him. And I remember seeing him at the sound check, and he had the scarf around his neck, and he was playing with the scarf, and then I left, and I never watched them. I didn't see one band I ever played with back then. No, not one of them. I mean, Randy Rhoads used to come see me play.
Are you kidding? Wow.
No, I mean, and I've never seen him play. I mean, it's just crazy. I tell you, I've seen more bands that I used to play with now on the phone on YouTube than I ever had before.
Yep. Oh my God.
I've just never. I was the guy in the corner, and my head facing the wall with my guitar in my hand, playing my guitar, sitting there like a geek, warming up. I was the guitar geek.
I love it. Dale, you got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Absolute honor to be with you.
Excellent, man. Be brilliant today, okay?
Okay, you too, brother. Thank you so much.